Susan Ferguson is suing her neighbor, Tanisha Harrison, for damages from a dog attack.
Court come to order. All rise.
Have a seat, please.
Case 3158, Ferguson versus Harrison.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Miss Ferguson, it is your claim that the defendant's dog, her unleashed dog, caused a serious injury to you, compound fracture of your ankle, and injury to your dog, a puncture wound that was, in fact, attended to by a vet. You were hospitalized for 4 days. Most of your medical bills were covered. You did have some that were not. Your lawsuit asks that she be responsible for your injury, the dog's, including pain and suffering.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Harrison said, all your fault. That seems to be your...
That is correct.
Are we seeing what is happening right here? Your neighbor ends up in emergency room because of severe injuries inflicted by your own dog. And then the excuse you could open your mouth and give is that you accidentally left the door open. I hope that's the same way you leave your door accidentally open for thieves too. We can clearly see how the plaintiff is traumatized just being in the same room with the dog owner. The dog isn't even there yet. And for someone that owns a high-risk breed, you should take responsibility for entirely anything that happens, and that's on period. So let's watch how he shifts the blame. So I don't know who. It's clearly infuriating.
Okay, on what date did this incident occur with Miss Harrison's dog?
It was April 27th of 2023.
What kind of dog do you have?
I have he's a mutt. We believe he is part poodle, part schnauzer. He was a rescue.
At how old is he?
I believe he's 3.
And how much does he weigh?
22 pounds.
And you were taking him out for a walk?
I was taking him out for a bathroom break, actually. I work 8 hours a day. Got off work, came home.
So what time was this?
So it was probably about 3:30.
In the afternoon?
Yes. And I took him out for a bathroom break, and it happened so quickly. I was usually go down my drive, and...
Show me where you live. Could you walk over there and show me where you live?
Yes. Actually, so from her house...
Show me where you came out. I see what you're...
So there's a driveway. I have pictures that might be better.
Fine.
Why don't we do that, ma'am?
While she's looking for those photographs, Miss Harrison, that is a photograph of your house. The two of you were neighbors.
That is correct.
What kind of a dog do you have?
I have a pit bull.
How old?
3.
How long have you had him?
3 years.
Is that your only dog?
I have 2 dogs.
Two pit bulls?
Yes.
Both the same age?
The boy is 4.
And this is a girl?
Yes.
Okay. Her house is here. Behind here. Goes around here. And that's her house.
Did you understand that, Kevin?
No, I didn't see the house.
No, I'm just telling you. Did you understand that explanation?
No.
Okay. So, you're out. Dog is on a potty break, and?
Okay, so her dog came around, and that's basically left.
Came around where?
From her backyard into our yard, and then around the corner, and then down the alley.
And the alley that you're referring to is right here?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's where you encountered her dog?
Yes, ma'am.
And there is broken pavement here. Yes. And what happened when you encountered her dog?
Her dog charged my dog and latched on, and my dog started squealing. And I was trying to get in between them. And as I did that, her dog knocked me down. I fell. It startled her dog. Her dog released my dog. I was able to grab onto her dog's collar, hold on for dear life. And then a resident of her house heard me screaming, and he came running and grabbed the dog.
A male?
A male.
Who grabbed the dog?
I grabbed the dog.
Why would she say a male grabbed the dog if it was you? You can't be
It was
mistaken.
a male.
Honestly, this has been an ongoing thing. There was no male. My dog got loose. My dog didn't leave the neighborhood or the yard.
Your dog was off leash. You acknowledge that your dog was off leash.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. And let's say the dog didn't leave your yard, which I don't believe.
Okay.
But let's say that, because we're going to come back to her injuries in a moment, which was serious. You acknowledge that her injuries were serious. I read your answer, and what your answer says was, you start out by saying, I unlatched my door, and the dog pushed out, without my realizing it, the dog pushed out the front door after I had unlatched it. That's the way you started your answer, right? Yes, that's what you said. Do you want me to read what you said, or does that refresh your recollection?
You can read it.
Okay, fine. On the day in question, my door did not fully latch and my dog pushed his way outside. I followed him to the yard.
That is correct. I did not unlatch the door at that time.
Did not fully latch.
That is correct.
Okay, I mean, what is semantics? The dog got out without a leash.
Correct.
A pit bull.
That's correct.
A pit bull. Okay. And you own your own house?
I do not own it.
You rent it?
I do.
You have renter's insurance?
I do not.
Oh, that's a pity. Did you try to get renter's insurance?
I did not.
Oh, that's a good thing, because they usually don't issue renter's insurance to people who have pit bulls, and also a variety of other dogs that have been deemed to be dangerous. So if you have a pit bull, you got to keep it under control at all times, because they are capable of serious damage. You do understand that, don't you?
I do understand that.
Great. And you do understand that if, as you indicated in your answer, the pavement she was walking on was cracked. Absolutely agree with you. I see the photos. And I absolutely agree with you, for the purposes of this argument, did not come into physical contact with her, but that she turned to run away from your unleashed dog. For the purposes of this discussion, you don't think you're responsible.
I do not, ma'am.
Well, then I'm here to tell you you are. Legally responsible, because the sidewalk was uneven. But if I believe you, which I don't because you weren't there, if I believe you, your dog came out unleashed, and she, for whatever reason, she's small, she's frail, she turned to run away from your dog. Because that's what you say here. She turned. So when she tried to run, what was she running from? She wasn't running from a mugger. She wasn't running from a burning fire. What was she running from?
Your Honor.
Just a second. Not a Your Honor. Yeah, answer my question. Rightly or wrongly, she was running away from an 80-pound pit bull that you allowed to run unleashed, whether it was on your property or not. I don't believe it was on your property, but let's say I believe. It doesn't matter. Your unleashed dog put in a series of events in place that caused her injury. Don't you understand that? I mean, are you that stupid that you don't understand that?
Susan Ferguson claims her neighbor, Tanisha Harrison, is responsible for damages after Tanisha's pit bull attacked Susan and her dog.
I'm going to say it again. Your unlatched door allowed your 80-pound pit bull to get out, unleashed, and run into your yard. She got frightened. If I'm believing your scenario, that's not what she says. If I believe your scenario, she got frightened and turned to run. That's what you said.
I agree that my dog did get loose. My dog did not leave my property. If she was frightened, she could have slipped over her dog, but there was no reason for her to be scared.
There was no reason. I want to tell you something. If I were walking with my dog, which is much smaller, and I saw an 80-pound pit bull running without a leash, I would be petrified. I would turn.
Okay, so let's break this down in plain English, because it's either this man is dumb or he clearly does not understand the law. In cases like this, dog bite laws is usually under strict liability. So even if your dog was a scent or is a scent for the past 10, 20 years, 5 years, once your dog causes harm on a person, the owner takes full responsibility for the medical bill, the pain, and the suffering. But this man is trying to argue intent, but the court does not care about your sob story. They just care about the damages that you caused.
And run, or do what you're supposed to do with a grizzly bear. Stand there, but I would turn and run and be frightened. And that series of events which caused her accident were put in motion by the fact that your unleashed dog was out unattended.
I can't agree.
I don't give a rat's behind whether you agree or not, madam. That you're too stupid to understand that is something you have to take up with your parents or your therapist, not me. That's the law. Your conduct put in place a course of events which caused her injury. Your negligence in not keeping your dog leashed and in your home precipitated her injury. Or, as they put it in a very famous case in the law, but for your action, she would not be injured. But for the fact that your dog got out unattended, whether the dog pushed her or she got frightened, that series of events was precipitated by your negligence. Whether you agree with me or not, I don't care. And whether you understand it and whether you're simple-minded and don't get it, I can't control that. You choose to have two potentially dangerous dogs that other people are afraid of.
My dogs are not vicious.
I want to tell you something. The last article that I got was 2 weeks ago about a pit bull killing a baby.
Not my dog.
I have to tell you something. I have a little dog, right? And yesterday I was playing with her and playing with a sock. And I was making believe that my hand, like an idiot, was a sock, was a puppet. And she was trying to get it. And one of her little teeth went through my arm. So I put some peroxide on it. She's not an 80-pound dog that is #1 on every state's most dangerous dog list. Numero uno. You choose to have you and the rest of the stupid people that choose to have those dogs, you have to take responsibility for other people being frightened of them. Madam, I can't tell you I have a drawer full of people who say, my dog would never hurt anybody. But I have to tell you, other people don't feel that way. So if you choose to have a pit bull, you make damn sure that that dog is under your control at all times. Can I see photographs of your injuries, please? You have medical reports?
I've never seen this picture. I never want to see it, but that's a picture of my injury.
I'm actually a little skittish myself about those things, but usually only when they are on me. I can usually look at them if they're on somebody else. Serious, very serious. I assume that the maximum jurisdictional financial limit in your jurisdiction is $6,500.
Yes,
is that correct? Because I wondered where you got that number from. What kind of work do you do, Ms. Harrison?
I'm a quote specialist in insurance.
For insurance?
That's correct.
Who do you live with?
Myself and my children.
How many children?
3,
How old are they?
14 and 2 8-year-olds. And I do have a paper I'd like you to take a look at that shows that everything that she is claiming was unknown on this day. It all came after her incident.
Okay, I'm going to see what you have to tell me. The admission date was April 27th, which was the date of this incident. You actually said that you saw your dog, so you know that she fell. And you actually say that you took the dog, you say you took the dog back to your house. She said it was a male. And since I don't believe that the dog was on your front lawn, I tend to doubt everything else that you're telling me. But you said you saw and heard ambulances and fire trucks right afterwards. You said, so I don't understand what you're telling me.
It was probably about 10 to 15 minutes that I heard the ambulance arrive. I didn't realize at the time that you...
When you grabbed your dog, did you see the plaintiff?
I did see the plaintiff.
And where, just a second, and where was she when you saw her?
She was up by her home.
Was she on the ground?
No.
What was she doing?
She had her dog, so it appeared she was gonna take it on a walk. I'm not for sure what she was doing.
Okay.
Your Honor,
just a second.
I'm sorry.
You know, not only do I think that you're stupid for having 2 pit bulls in your house with 2 small children, which you've had for 4 years, according to you one, and 3 years another. So that, to me, in and of itself, says that you are a negligent parent and stupid. However, when I read your answer, which you probably don't remember, let me read what you said when you want to show me that this didn't occur because of your dog.
Okay.
This is your sworn statement. My dog went to the end of my property to check out the plaintiff and her dog. He was calm and wagging his tail. The plaintiff's dog was skittish and barking. As my dog approached, the plaintiff freaked out. I believe she was being extra paranoid because she was high. She lunged backward, trying to pull her dog away. The pavement she was walking on was cracked and uneven and lifting up in several spots. So when she tried to run, she tripped and fell. She ended up falling on her dog. That's your sworn statement. That's a little different from what you just told me.
I'm pretty sure.
That's a little different from what you just told me.
I did not see her actually fall. I didn't learn that until afterwards.
Then why did you swear to this?
I may have worded it wrong.
You didn't word it wrong. You worded it to suit the best possible scenario you could for you. Somehow you snowed animal control because if they didn't take custody of your dog, there was something, what?
I have a report here.
May I see it, please? Okay, so the synopsis of the Iowa Police Department says, April 27, 3:51, I was dispatched to an address in regard to an ambulance call involving a possible...
The judge has clearly run out of patience with this guy because the defendant keeps on digging the hole deeper by trying to minimize the trauma the neighbor faced. I mean, who does that? He's so inhumane right now. But the way the settlement decision is going to go is going to hit him like a train on high speed.
Dog attack. I was told that Susan Ferguson had fallen while trying to protect her dog, Max, from the neighbor's pit bull, resulting in a broken ankle. At this point, I was unaware of any of the issues involving the neighbor's dogs, and thought this to be an isolated incident. It was also unknown at this time that Miss Ferguson's dog had sustained some injuries from the neighbor's dog. Officer knocked on your door, where Tanisha Harrison answered. We informed her of the incident next door, and she confirmed her dog was in the house, as well as the dog had managed to slip out the back door which led to the incident with Ferguson. Harrison was apologetic about the incident, and due to the fact that it appeared to be an isolated instance, no citation was issued. An unknown amount of time passes before I was contacted by Ferguson with regard to the incident, where I learned that Max had actually been injured. Max is your dog, that had been injured as well, and that there had been previous issues involving Harrison's dogs getting loose. After learning of this being an ongoing issue, I informed Ferguson to call and report the dogs at large at any time she sees them off their own property, so we could establish a pattern of offenses. That's the police report. You have a different report?
No, I have that same report.
Yeah, okay. I don't even have to, your dog is okay now.
Yes, yes.
It was taken to the vet by somebody else. All right. Ms. Harrison, as I said, you get the impression that I think that your negligence in keeping these two pit bulls in your house with small children is problematic. You understand that. And I understand all you pit bull lovers out there, you're going to write me nasty notes. Don't bother. I don't read them. Your dog has now caused injury to somebody. If your dog causes injury again, this lady is going to know about it because she's still your neighbor, or did you move?
I still live there, yes.
And you still live there?
Yes.
So she will know. So hopefully when one of your dogs decides to act out again, it's not with one of your 8-year-olds. Now I know that you think that that's impossible. If I knew you better and if I wanted to get to know you better, which I don't, I would take you into my office and show you a drawer full of articles that people send me about their grandchildren, their neighbor, their parent, or themselves who have been seriously injured or killed by a pit bull. I never knew anybody that got killed by a Shih Tzu. Never. So you choose to have a dangerous animal in your house. That's totally your bag. She's suing you for $6,500. If the court could award her more than that, which I can't, I would. If you work for an insurance company and you give quotes for insurance, you should have renter's insurance. So, well, I don't know why you're smiling. You're such an idiot. Did you see how much damage to her leg your dog caused? Did you take a look at it? I want you to think about one of your 8-year-olds having a bone come through their leg.
Your Honor.
Caused by listen to me, caused by somebody else. You see that stupid smile that you have on your face?
I don't think that it's funny that she got hurt, but my dogs are not vicious. I just cannot agree with that. My dog did not cause her any. There's no reason. If she fell, that was on her own time.
I'm just telling you, stupid. You wrote to me what you saw that afternoon. You said she got frightened and she turned away to run away from my dog that got out from an unlatched door. That's what you wrote here. And I'm telling you that that's the law. But for your negligence in letting that dog out of the house unleashed,
she was yard.
Just a second. I don't care. But for your negligence in allowing the unleashed dog out of your house, she would not be injured. And if you don't get that, I'm really sorry. And I'm sorry that you had 3 children, because I hope that they're smarter than their mother. This case is over. $6,500. Judgment for the plaintiff. We're done.
This court is adjourned.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So here's my honest take on this whole case, because this is a textbook case of gross negligence. Because why would someone come into a courtroom, you're a pet owner that has a high-risk breed, and you're trying to minimize the whole injuries of your neighbor that looks so severe. You're trying to minimize it into something that is not that big of a deal. And it's so obvious that this man has zero empathy. He's inhumane. In short, he's a wicked person. So I like how the judge punished him by maxing out the amount of our medical bills, even if it's too much. So this should be a lesson to all reckless pet owners out there. What do you guys think?